By the divine grace of Sri Divine Mother Sri Jnanakshi Rajarajeshwari, by the grace of Param Pujya Guru Maharaj, and by the grace of Paramatma in all forms which we have heard, seen in the form of an image or in the form of an artistic concept, by the grace of every single form of Paramatma in this world, we are again here today to read the glory of Hanumanji as he proceeds to Sri Lanka. The mind of a human being is part of this subtle body. The subtle body, which is called as the Sukshma Shariram. Yesterday we were talking about the gross body in the Bhagavata Prasanga, which spoke about the gross body. So the gross body, what we say, is also called as empirical. We can check it with the help of the senses. With the help of the senses we can check it. And it has got a consistency of behavior. The gross body in the empirical sense, that is in the sensory perceptional sense, there is a consistency. With that consistency only we have seen the childhood, the birth of a child from our beginning. We see the birth, then we say childhood, then boyhood or girlhood, then we go up to youth, then you see the body slowly turning to middle age, then little elderly age, and then slowly becoming weaker and weaker. So we all see this is all visible to the senses, directly it is visible to the senses. So each one of us know Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Dehinaha yasmin dehe yatha kaumaram yauvanam. That is, this body goes through these changes. But the Dehi inside, the Atma, it is observing all these things. The soul or the self which is residing in this particular body is observing all these things happening. For example, I am aware that this body is also growing. I am aware that if there is a pain in the body, we are aware of that. So there is this difference between the Sthula Shariram and the one who is aware of that. The gross body and the one who is aware of that. In between these two you get the mind, which is a reflection of that awareness. The mind is a reflection of that awareness, and it is fed by the power of that self and by the input of the senses. The mind's existence, the mind is existing because it has the power of the consciousness. It has the power of the conscious, therefore we are able to think and everything, we have that identity from the consciousness. And it takes the input. It takes the input from where? Feeding is from through the senses. So if I have a thought in my mind, the thought has the feeding from either the eye or the ear or the nose or the tongue or the touch. Whatever thought you may have, you just slowly see. If you think, for example, I have a thought which nobody would have seen. If you think like that, that is wrong. Because somewhere or the other, billions of species of people, they would have seen that one. So we have a thought, and this thought has its root in sensory perception. Sensory perception, it is either a visual, or it is an audio, or it is an object of the smelling, or it is an object of touch, or it will be an object of taste. So these are the inputs. So mind is part of the Sukshma Shariram, subtle body. So now what we are going to read now here, Anjaneya or Hanuman, the description of Hanuman's Sthula Shariram is going, but in his mind, in Hanuman's mind also he'll be, already Hanuman would have made plans how he is going to meet. But the body is being described. The body is being described, how the body is flowing. So Sthula Shariram and the Sukshma Shariram. Whatever we read here, whatever we see in the form of this text here, whatever we listen through the ears, it is going to go inside us and then give new inputs to our mind now. And these inputs are going to be stored, remember. All these inputs are going to be stored in our body. whatever we have experienced at any time of our life, it will be stored. It will be inside stored. And it will come up when there is a similar association. When you see blue, you will remember everything which was blue in the earlier past, which you have experienced. If you see green, this color is like the leaf. If you see red color, this color is like the sun in the morning. So you have a comparison. So that is how the Sukshma Sharira works. So this feed, what we are reading, what we are slowly gathering from here through the study is going to our Sukshma Shariram, and we are evolving now. So let us continue to read the glory of Hanuman. We are on page number 25. At the last. Shushubhe Samahateja Mahakayo Mahakapihi Vayumarge Niralambe Pakshawaniva Parvataha. Different types of perceptions of Hanuman flying in that sky. So Valmiki ji feels now that great monkey Hanuman, the great resplendent one with a huge body, shone like a mountain with wings, flying in the sky without any support beneath. Another thought comes to us when we read this one. We have read so many stories we would have read. In different types of stories we would have read. But look at this way, the way Valmiki Rishi is describing Hanuman. 100% Valmiki Rishi knows very well. Valmiki Rishi, if you take Valmiki Rishi as a normal human being, and if the normal being human being is describing a monkey flying from India from Bharat to Sri Lanka, it looks like a story. But this is not just a story, this is the Valmiki Rishi's experience now. The Valmiki Rishi is going through the experience of that great, wonderful Sevaka of Bhagavan Sri Ram actually going to Sri Lanka. So how difficult it is for us to dismiss this as just a story. This is not just a story. This Sundarakandam, Ramayanam is not just a kavyam, not a poetry, not a literature written by somebody imagining some things. This is a pure experience. That means Paramatma has come in the form of Hanuman. And Paramatma is doing this Leela. Yena sau yati balavan Vegena kapi kunjaraha Tena margena sahasa Droni krita ivarnavaha. Now, Hanuman is flying in the sky, and then you see something very, 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 very special now. Normally, when you have gone to the beach or to the bank, shore of the seashore you would have gone. From one end of the shore you stand and see, you see waters, endless waters. Stand anywhere, endless waters you see, and if there is a ship standing there you see, that is beyond the ship also there is water. And when you go by flight, you will see the beach of one end. Let us say the beach here is beginning, the shore, seashore is beginning here. And as the flight comes here, if you are able to see throughout entirely, you come to this shore, you will see the end of the ocean. The ocean's two shores of the ocean you can see. Can you see all the shores of the ocean? That means, can you see it like a small lake? Have you ever seen an ocean like a lake? Are you able to follow what I am saying? What is a lake? A lake is a body, reservoir, water body. It is got which one can actually go around the lake. But have you ever gone a parikrama around the ocean? There is a Narmada Parikrama, people do Narmada Parikrama, Nadi Parikrama they do. So they start from one bank, and in one place they cross the river, then come back, that's called as Narmada Parikrama. They have to cross the river. but they cannot see the source of the river. They cannot see actually the source where the river begins. Similarly, the ocean is so large. The ocean is so large. For example, from the shore of Chennai, the ocean extends up to the shores of Sri Lanka and then proceeds that side, no? From the eastern side, and it's also below Indonesia, Thailand, whatever countries, islands are there. So it's a huge ocean. Now what Hanuman is saying, something very special. In whatever path Hanuman the mighty went on, in that path there immediately appeared a trough in the ocean below. A trough is what? A limited vessel is called as a trough. A trough is a limited vessel. So now Hanuman is saying, as though there is a trough inside the ocean, as though there is something having banks inside the ocean itself. He is saying there is some particular cavity in the ocean, he is saying. That means this description, remember, have you ever traveled? Has Valmiki Rishi traveled by flight? A question. He told the waters were absolutely clear. Waters were absolutely clear, he said earlier. He could see all the creatures inside. So, has Valmiki Rishi gone on top and actually seen this? The ocean is appearing like there is a trough in the ocean. Means, can we just dismiss this as an imagination? So Valmiki, these rishis had the wonderful power of actually moving this Sukshma Shariram all over the world. Apate Pakshi Sanghanam Pakshi Raja Iva Vrajan Hanuman Megha Jalani Prakarshan Maruto Yatha. Hanuman, while coursing through the path of birds like the king of birds, Garuda, dragged with him series of clouds like the god of wind. So now maybe he's going at different levels. He's going at different levels, sometimes above the cloud, sometimes below the cloud, like we see in a flight. So when he's going in between the clouds, then he's dragging clouds along, because such a huge body. Already he has described that 30 yojanas long, 120 kilometers long is Hanuman's body now. 120 kilometers long and then around 30 kilometers wide. So he's dragging along clouds and going along with them, just like Garuda is flying in the sky. Panduraruna Varnani Neelamanjishthakani cha Kapina Krishyamanani Mahabhrani Chakashire. Now what type of colors these clouds had? We say grey clouds from here. But when you go in the flight, you see like cotton there. The clouds look like cotton, absolutely white. Sometimes you see white clouds, so grey clouds, white. He says different types of clouds, color. Grey clouds with white, red, blue and madder colors shown on being dragged by Hanuman. Different types of colors Hanuman is seeing as he is going there. Pravishanna Prajalani Ninishpatanscha Punah Punah Nishpatanscha Punah Punah Prachannascha Prakashascha Prachannascha Prakashascha Chandrama iva lakshyate. See this description also again. You are seeing a moon there, and you see the clouds coming and closing the moon, and again the clouds pass away, the moon is seen. Sometimes you have the feeling that the moon itself is moving, and you feel instead of the clouds actually moving, we feel the moon is moving, and it's going inside the cloud, coming out of the cloud. going inside the clouds, coming out of the clouds. So Hanuman is exactly looking like that only. Hanuman, who is repeatedly entering and leaving series of clouds as he flies in the sky, is being seen like the moon who shines and is hidden alternatively. Look at each and every comparison what Valmiki Rishi is doing. Plavamanam tutam drishtva Plavangam tvaritam tada Vavarshuh pushpavarshani Deva gandharva danava. Surprisingly, all the other living beings also who are capable of already flying. Human beings are not able to fly, but the Deva, Gandharva, Kinnara, Kim Purusha and Danavas, they have the capacity to fly, which they are not visible to us. They have the capacity to fly, but Hanuman is visible to us. Hanuman is visible to a human eye, but the other Devatas, they are not normally visible, but now they are all offering flowers to Hanuman from the sky, because they all know the commitment with which Hanuman is going. Now what is the speciality? Why should the Devatas offer flowers to Hanuman? Why should the Danavas? The Danavas are actually children of Danu. Danu has the offspring is called as Danavas. They are also types of Rakshasas only. But now Hanuman is going in the sky. Gandharvas are also offering flowers. Devatas are also offering flowers. Danavas are also offering flowers because they are seeing that impossible feat being done by Hanuman. The impossible feat is being done by Hanuman, which till today an ape has never done. Of course, they are not aware that Hanuman is Sakshat Shiva Avatar. They are not aware, but they are seeing that Hanuman is now flying. Till the day Hanuman took off, or on the day when he had caught hold of the sun, nobody knew Hanuman's power. Only now they are able to see. If you read the Bhagavata Mahapuranam, you will come in that is the 10th skanda of Krishna doing Leelas. When Krishna slays the big demons, only when the demon is slain, they come to know that somebody has killed the demon. But nobody comes to know that actually Krishna has done. They don't know that Krishna has done. Krishna is the person who is attacked by the demon, and Krishna is the one who slays the demon. So it's a Leela which is going on. So Paramatma Leela is hidden and then it becomes obvious. Hidden and then it is shown like that. So we will pause now. We will also offer our flowers on Hanuman who is traveling to Sri Lanka. Hari Om Tat Sat.